we're asking in this series everyone to nominate someone that can be dead or alive, real or fictional, to Keir Starmer's first cabinet. I think you need to nominate either a foreign secretary or a defence secretary, given the theme of the episode. So who are you putting in the...
Sam, stop telling your dad what to do. He can nominate who he likes.
Well, it'd be a bit odd if he puts in the culture secretary after this episode.
I could nominate you.
Yes. Okay, that's a bridge too far, Lawrence. That's enough. Stop it.
I like that idea.
Oh, honestly.
Oh, goodness knows where I'd put you. Actually, I wasn't... the one I had in mind, I was thinking going back to sort of... Again, because I knew in my time, I'd known quite a lot of some of the more serious Labour politicians of the past. Actually, I decided on Roy Jenkins as a reforming Home Secretary, which I think we could do with. Genuine integrity, not a bad Chancellor, and with interests in what Healy called a hinterland away from politics. So not I mean, if it was a former Defence Secretary, then Healy, or for that matter, George Robinson, who's obviously still around, it would be great to see George back. But a figure from the past, Jenkins.
And of course, was also a European commissioner, so he can lead our negotiations.
Of course, he also split away from the Labour Party to form the SDP, so that may count against him.
What issue do you think Labour should be talking about more that isn't getting enough airtime now?
I was trying to think about this one. We talk about we've talked a lot about defence. We haven't talked about the Foreign Office, or the Foreign and Commonwealths and Development Office, as it is now known. It doesn't cost a lot. Has been cut quite a bit over the past. It's had some, shall we say, strange foreign secretaries in recent times. I think we need diplomacy now. If you're claiming you want international influence and to be taken seriously, that's one of the means by which you do it. So I'd like to see a lot more attention given to diplomacy, how we do it better. There's been this report on the Foreign Office, which is all about branding, as far as largely. But I don't think it's an issue of branding. I think it's much more of how you prepare and what sort of diplomatic initiatives you think you can take. So that's a bit niche, but one I would concentrate on.
And finally, what's the one test you'd set for Starmer and the Labour Party to prove that they're in power to change Britain for the better?
So this isn't particularly a policy commitment, but it goes back to the discussion we were having on ethical foreign policy and so on. It's the ability to talk in terms of trade-offs. I just find it very frustrating in politics that things always like to be presented as if there was only one possible choice that you could take. It was the right thing to do and so on. And actually, these things have to be weighed, and there are many considerations. And if you want intelligent discussion of politics, and actually to bring people along with you on the choices you've made, you should explain the complexity of choices more. Now, there's a limited public appetite for too much complexity, but you ought to be able to manage a certain amount. I think we had that very much dogging the whole Brexit debate. Was either side unwilling to contemplate decent arguments that the other side might have that have to be addressed. So this is probably rather an old academic's wish for proper conversations, but that's what I think. It is a test of good leadership to be able to explain why you've taken your decision.
Well, what we've been doing at the moment hasn't really worked in terms of just saying there was no alternative all the time.
So. No, I hate that. As with it was the right thing to do when you've obviously screwed up.
Yes.